Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I want to thank everyone out there who's already subscribed to my channel and give me a thumbs up because I started this channel a couple of months ago. I created this channel with the intention of helping people become better investors in crypto and blockchain by making you an industry expert, by interviewing industry experts that can explain everything you need to know about crypto, giving you the confidence to be able to make better investing decisions. And I certainly hope that you feel more confident about your investing decisions. Now, this is not financial advice, but I do have big plans in the future to be offering more market insight, more technical analysis, more price action analysis, so to speak. But I haven't already done that because there just hasn't been enough demand. So if you want to learn more about crypto and blockchain, if you want to learn more about the industry, if you want to become a better investor, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. I also recommend that you click on the link below, find me on all the other platforms that you're on, and follow me there as well because I do distribute different kinds of content in different places. So without further ado, let's watch our next guest. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody, to the DYOR Crypto Founders Report. Today we have a very special guest, Mateja Sela. He's known as a software engineer, entrepreneur, musician, and activist. He's also a world traveler, and he created the first community-curated NFT marketplace for the Cardano ecosystem, Artano, which is now open to the public on the Cardano blockchain. I'm very pleased to have him here on the show today, and I'm looking forward to our conversation. Welcome, Mateja.
Pleased to be here. Thanks for having me, Stefan.
Great. So my first question, Mateja, is when did it register with you that non-fungible tokens were going to be a big part of our lives?
I would say like NFTs are still, going, we're still on the way to them becoming a big part of our lives. Like I'd say last year I was dabbling into crypto stuff and I was really interested in it. I was in college before and then I moved to Germany. Like I think a year maybe after I finished college, I was like, okay, what is crypto about really? And how can I invest in crypto? And then I looked at these CryptoPunks and almost bought one. Unfortunately, I didn't at the time. And I was like, okay, so this is like interesting. I mean, it's a risky business, but it seems interesting. And then I kind of dug deeper into the NFT space, and I saw like a lot of copies of it, unfortunately. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to start painting. And I like picked up a brush for the first time in my life. And I started these black and white, minimalist art pieces, I guess. I mean, if you want to call them art. Artists tell me it's art, but I don't think, just picking a brush and just saying, okay, this is art is enough. And yeah, I was like, I'm going to build my own project. And then I was like, okay, where am I going to sell this? And then I looked at Ethereum. I was like, oh, shit, sorry, you're probably going to bleep that out. Oh, I'm not gonna like sell it for $500 like for just to be able even to sell it. So I looked into other crypto blockchains and Cardano was of course my first love, I think, and the only true love in the blockchain space, and that's why I started building the team and building the solution that is Artano.
Yeah, so I find that really interesting. I looked into you because you were one of the first very, very clear people that were creating NFT marketplaces on the Cardano ecosystem. And I'm a big part of the, I'm a very ingrained in the more Cardano community. Cardano is actually like pretty much my biggest investment as far as crypto. And so I'm always looking into Cardano projects, very exciting to me. And then when I saw your project, I was wondering like what was going to separate you from the competition. I found a lot of different things, but before I get into Artano and why Artano is going to be successful, I want to ask you about sort of like your story and how did you make your way all the way to where you are now, where you're running a team building a big marketplace in the Cardano marketplace, in the Cardano ecosystem. How did you get to that point? Maybe from the beginning of your education or
The
something like that.
Artano.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can don't want to go back through like my early childhood, but yeah, I was well, I was like, so I told you, right, like I had these paintings and I was like looking at Ethereum. I was
Yeah.
talking to Superare. I was like, I'm not gonna be curated by C-level executives. And I was like, okay, so I need to build a marketplace myself. I'm a software developer. I can do this. And then I, like, one thing after the other, I just met a lot of amazing people. I had some friends, I have a lawyer friend who's going to help us with the IP stuff. I have a friend who's a business analyst, and she's the co-founder now of Artano. So
Mhm.
just this amazing team. And it was like around maybe November, December last year, we talked, and I was like, okay, in January, we're going to really start doing this and building this marketplace. And so, yeah, and my idea behind it was really building something for the art community that's going to bring the art world forward. Because I think NFTs are not just about, flipping, you know, flipping NFTs like in one day, 2 days, a week, a month, a year. It's more about like the actual technology that's pushing the art space forward. And what can you do with that? Like that was my question. That's why I got into this whole story about NFTs. How can it push the art space and the tech space forward?
Mhm. And so, when it comes to art, I mean, have you always been an artist?
So I've been in music. I mean, I studied music since I was 9 years old. I've studied guitar. I played it for like 5, 6 years. I went to high school for music production, and I was more into music. And music is actually coming to our tunnel later. But for now, we're just like, for the sake of simplicity and I guess the interest of the community into visual arts, we're starting with visual arts as well. But
Yeah.
of course, music is my love, and I'm gonna do that as well in the future on our tunnel, hopefully.
Yeah, uh I'm a big music fan myself. I have a very eclectic taste in music, so I'll listen to a lot of different music from different countries, different genres, things like that. Uh, Music is, I definitely think, is underappreciated in the NFT marketplace. I know there's a couple projects out there that are sort of like music streaming services, but maybe this is actually an interesting topic that I'd like to go into a little bit more. What does the future of music look like in the NFT market space? Like, how does sort of what does like a model of a music NFT look like?
Mm. So I would say philosophically for me, it's like getting back to the musicians themselves, right? Like you don't have to go through a label to sell your pieces. Like it's just like, okay, what's the popularity? You have an algorithm, the most listened to thing. You don't have to have a label promoting you, paying a lot of money to promote this art that might not be the best art or things that people want to listen to. So just let the algorithm do its job, and the one with most clicks is going to appear at the top, and then people can maybe subscribe to it. And I mean, smart contracts are very early, right? So we have maybe mechanisms where people can, distribute completely the 5% goes to the singer, 5% to the drummer, and so on. And like you can actually pay the people directly. You don't have to go through a third party. So I think that's like the future of music. I think in the NFT space, I think anything streaming, you have imagine blockchain Netflix, right? Like where you actually pay the cameraman and the I don't know, audio person and the director directly. You don't have to pay Netflix, right, to subscribe. So that's my I think vision of the NFT space too.
Wow, that's fascinating. So the artists themselves have better ways of getting paid for their work. If they're collaborators with other artists, they can decide how to determine who gets what. And
Right,
this is all like pretty much peer to peer, right? Like there isn't
right.
necessarily, maybe the marketplace is a third party, but it can
Yeah,
be,
it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it can be it can be peer to peer. Like if I were an artist and I had a concert, I could sell my music. I can have a set number of copies, and I can directly sell it to the people at my place, as long as I have a way of facilitating that. So is that sort of what you have in mind for what an NFT for musicians would look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I have no idea what it's gonna mutate
Mm,
into, right? Like, these music and of course the visual art space is pretty clear. Like you're selling a JPEG, you're selling a GIF, you're selling a video. I
mhm.
mean, video as well, right? Is another topic, but with music, it's really like so many people can be behind the process. It can be one person like who's a music producer. Like I've done that before. I've made my own compositions. Like, but it's usually a team of people with the best works. So it's I don't know. I mean it's going to be really interesting to see how this evolves.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. So what's driving the sort of the demand right now? Besides, I guess, I think, is there anything specific that you can say is driving the current craze that we're seeing right now, like with all sorts of different new projects that are coming up, NFT projects, besides
Yeah.
like things like similar to CryptoPunks?
I'd say novelty and like the first like when people see I think I don't know if you've seen I'm like a bit dabbling into different like blockchains as well. Like I was in Tesla's a few days ago and there's this huge sale that happened that broke a few nodes on the Tesla's network and broke like a virtual wallet. Like people couldn't use the wallet anymore. And I mean that speaks of Cardano as a really advanced blockchain, but and like there was this like it's called Tezards. It's a really amazing project, like art project, and it's still like 4,200 pieces. But it's you see different projects and different blockchains and how yeah. Sorry, I forgot your question. You can cut this out, but
Uh,
I don't know why I
no,
talked about that.
it was just like what's driving the demand of
Yeah,
the NFT craze that's happening right
yeah.
now.
Sorry, I went off
Um,
tangent.
yeah, I think I was just looking at when I wrote an article about Artano on my blog a couple of months ago. When I wrote that article, the analytics were showing that the NFT market bubble, not bubble, I don't know if I would call it a bubble, but the sort of the hype had died down from the early part of the year. We were also going through sort of like questionable, bear market, right? So we were sort of like at the lowest levels at that couple months ago. But now I'm looking at the numbers today. Opensea and all these other places are showing like they're going back up to record sales numbers. So that's why I ask, like, what caused people to get back into it? Like, was there something specific that you could point to? You said novelty was one of them. Is there
Multi,
anything
I
else?
think, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say like I would say first to market as well, because Cardano, for example, you had space buds, like it was the first thing on the market. So like there's a lot of blockchains out there and there's a lot of currencies. And I think if you're the first one to get there, and there's like, that happened recently. On Ethereum though, I mean, I would say probably people were maybe like questioning what is this about? What am I buying? And then in the end, people were like, okay, so I can actually maybe make a living out of this. And people are actually interested in my art. They want to support me as an artist. And they want to have all the IP rights to my art pieces. So like they can, put it on their profile picture, or they can say, I own this, I'm proud owner of this art piece. I mean, why people buy, I don't know, originals, like it's the same reason. I'm proud of
Oh.
owning this piece, and maybe in the future I can also earn a living out of it as well, and also pay the artist. That's amazing as well, right? You have
Mhm.
royalties, you have commissions. Like if 10% goes to the artist back every time you resell it, it's a great thing.
Interesting. So, for the same reasons that people want to buy original art pieces, that's the same thing that's driving this current demand in NFTs.
I mean, yeah, you have a signed piece, right, by the artist if it's the original.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Um, so tell us about uh, what is Artano?
Mhm. Sure. Artano is a community-driven and community-curated marketplace built on the Cardano blockchain. We have a team of 10 people, and we're working with 20 artists and some, I would say, soon to be pretty big names in the art world as well, to be announced. I think this is the first interview I'm talking about this, but I cannot disclose anything, but I think people will love this in the Cardano space. And so we're trying to have a different approach, right? Like we have this community curation, which means that you're a user, you're a trusted member of the community, and you can curate art. You can say, okay, I want this artist to be next to me on this platform, or I don't want this one to be next to me. And so our idea is to have this like a reverse of what's happening in the NFT space, right? Like you have for like basically not allowing these 10,000 piece things that are happening all over, or if they do, we really have to think about it and what is it actually bringing to the NFT space or the art space. So a lot of serious artists already have applied. A lot of organizations like yeah. So we're really excited. I mean, it's a different thing, right? It's more of a like mid to high end art than compared to like these entrepreneurial, I think, things that are happening all over the place. Which it
Hmm.
is entrepreneurship. Like you're trying to sell something, right? As soon as as fast as possible. And no judgment of that. Of course, I've participated too in these things, but yeah, it's just a different approach. And we think there's space for that in Cardano.
Interesting. So we have a couple friends here who are artists, but they're not very tech savvy. They don't really, they're still trying to understand this NFT thing. What would you tell a new artist or an artist who's been around but doesn't really understand technology as much? What would you tell them is something that they can do to make their first NFT?
Come to Artano. Okay. No, I would say, I think Artano is trying really to like, we made these tutorial videos. They're really popular. I mean, popular comparatively to other places. We have this service Artament. People are really interested because it's so easy. Like, we literally shoot it out for them, spat it out. Sorry, you have to cut that out as well. Sorry. But we really try to make these videos that are high quality, that explain everything. You go to this website, you do this, fill this out, put your name in, like literally every single thing. So like, I think I think education is a big part of every blockchain, right? And in order to onboard people, you need to really make sure that everybody understands what you're doing and how they can participate. If you don't, I mean, you let them do their thing. I mean, of course, we have these problems as well. Like, people don't understand the curation, like who's curating this art, what is going on. We have this council, 20 people all over the world. They're the first curators. We selected them, and in the future, you're going to be able to select them too. But for now, people are kind of like, oh, what is going on? So I think, if you're an artist who doesn't know anything about blockchain, start slow and go to marketplaces that are supporting you as an artist. I wouldn't say go to big marketplaces that are already, I think, starting to act too big in certain ways, in terms of how they handle their artists, or how they, for very profit-driven places. So,
Well, this is actually a good topic that I'd like to get us into. Could you tell us a little bit about how the different marketplaces how do they relate to their artist, and what does Artano do that is different? Because I've looked into it, and I do know that Artano is doing it differently, and I'd like to kind of hear it from you. What is the difference between how Artano works versus some of these other bigger marketplaces?
Yeah. So if you go to like a random, let's say, marketplace, I'm not going to drop names, but if you go somewhere and you just like, apply and get in, or apply and get curated by some, people who are not artists, who are not qualified to do that in any way, then to me that's a red flag, right? So for Artano, it's more about like, we have these 20 artists who are really going to make sure that every single application is curated, that it's, high quality, like it doesn't have to be high quality art. It just has to be something new or fresh, different. You maybe just finished college, you want to try something new, and you have like 2 amazing pieces, and you're like, okay, I want to try this out. It doesn't depend on me, of course. I'm not the one selecting these people, it's the council. So we actually have, curators and collectors and the community who's curating from the first day. So it's not like, me saying you can be the artist or somebody else. And then we have the Art token, which you earn through buying and selling art on the marketplace. And if you've been there for a long time, you're more likely to earn it right from the beginning, because it's more distributed more. It's going to be harder and harder to earn over time. So if you've been there for a long time, you're a trusted member of the community, we will give you the right to also curate and to also choose the council members, because the council is really important. It's like, artists, 20 artists from different countries. We have people from the Philippines, India, we have people from Ghana, Senegal, like, it's really the whole world. And then, going to these people and asking them how, what should we do? This is your artist. You tell us. It's not a developer who should be, 100% building and marketplace and curating. I think it's the artists who should do that. So we're trying to give them power, empower them to do that.
Is that an original idea of having a council and running it that way?
I've heard there were some other attempts at having these kind of councils, but they were more like very, very high level. For us, we have like students, we do have like people who have been in the art space for 20, 25 years. We have people who have, tens of thousands of followers on social media, even almost 1 million, one of them. But for us, it's like about the diversity of it, right? Like, it's also like about gender balance. Like, we have half gender balance. We have people from all over the world, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, artistic backgrounds too. So we really look for something special in each person and saying, okay, you should really be on this platform. We're going to support you, and you're going to support us. Of course, that's
Yeah.
really important.
I know you have a pretty decent sized team here. So can you tell us a little bit about your team and how did you meet everybody on your team? Because I know you're not all like in one location.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's the. I'm sorry to say, but the charm of Corona now. It's like the opposite side, I guess, of the COVID pandemic, right? Like you were at home, everybody was at home, and nobody knows what to do, so they're like building startups and getting into the blockchain space. I guess you too. I don't know if you also did that.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people are just and I applied for funding in Fund 3. And unfortunately, we didn't get funding from Catalyst. Maybe in the future. Um, and we were sixth place. We got like 320 million ADA. Super happy about that. And through Fund 3, actually, I met the devs, and they're Plutus devs. They work with IHK on the mainnet NFT case, actually. So I couldn't be happier with my team, honestly. Like we have people in the Netherlands, we have people in Nepal, Serbia, Spain, Germany. I'm in Germany, so it's a really distributed team. Yeah.
So did you met through communities online and
Yeah,
you
Discord. Yeah,
communicating online?
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Not
yeah.
all of them.
What does it take to apply for the Catalyst Fund?
In what sense?
So what do you have to do, like for what do you have to
Right.
do in order to qualify for having a slot to be able to get voted on?
I think you just need to have like a complete application. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. I mean, I don't think there's like any cutoff as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
as far as I know. But like I think 800 or something projects just apply now.
Hmm.
600, I'm not sure. I
Hmm.
don't. Yeah, I'm not following since Fund 5, but you just apply. You just write an application, and then some people are going to actually reach out and say, okay, I have the same idea as you. Let's team up. So
Mm.
the different stories. I mean, I was in the Discord chat. That's how I met the devs, basically. So
How are you funding yourself right now with this project?
So good story. Good question. We are self-funded, and we are actually looking for funding. So we are talking, to different people, different parties. We talked to Charles twice. That was a great talk. He gave us a lot of advice, which literally changed our whole idea about NFT marketplace. And we were just like, okay, we need to do some things better. And it was really good to hear this feedback
Wow,
yeah, yeah. But
that
yeah, we're
sounds
talking to different people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to Charles myself to see if he would come on my show, and
Nice.
I think he's pretty busy
For
right
sure.
now. So,
Yes, but
so
like he goes to the different channels. I think he would
yeah,
be
I know
interested.
he's out there. He's got a lot going on right now. His most recent AMA about the vaccine passports was very captivating. I highly recommend people to go check that one out.
Okay.
Um, so you're looking for funding. If someone's watching this video and wants to reach out to you for that reason, should they email you, find you on Twitter?
They can definitely find my email or find
Yeah.
me. Find me. You'll find me,
Yeah.
Artano, and then you text me, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be
Well,
there.
I hope somebody will reach out to you from this video.
Okay.
So what's your outlook right now for the specifically the art NFT market? Are we potentially in a bubble right now? What's the future as far as how these things are going to be valued?
I'd say like there's different. I think the tulip crisis thing, like with a huge bubble and stuff. I mean, you can say we might be. We don't know, right? I think there's maybe bubbles within a bubble. Like some things are just like super popular, and some things just fail. That I mean, it happens. But I think for at least the next 5 years, I would say that NFTs will still be there strong, as long as there's an innovation, as long as there's change and improvement. I think people will be interested in this market because there's a lot of potential here, right? you don't have to, go to an agency. You don't have to go to a gallery museum to show your art. You're there, you're in front of your computer, you do your work, and you get paid for it. So, and people earn money out of that, right? Like they resell it and so on. So I don't think the NFT space is moving downhill anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are the upcoming sort of what's on the roadmap right now for your project for Artano?
Okay, roadmap. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is release the marketplace, right? And we're trying to do that as soon as the smart contracts are out. So we thought, do we do our own solution? We've had our auction, so we already have had a sale. It went pretty well. And yeah, now we need to build a marketplace. And then, so the next thing would be INFTs. So having these NFTs that change with price and time. So you have, an NFT sells for, let's say 100 ADA, and then it looks a certain way. It's an egg, let's say, and then at 200 ADA, it's an egg that hatched or something like that. And then and then allow people to make these kind of NFTs. That's, I think, the major step. And of course, governance. So enabling voting and curation by the community through the token.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Now I was looking at the ADA price today, and we're finally over $3. Very happy about that. I'm sure you are as well. Now there's going to be a token, right, for Artano?
Yes, Art token. It's already there, actually.
It's already there.
First, yeah.
So like, how do people participate in that as an investment?
So that's I think, I guess, another thing about the token. I think the token is also for the community, and therefore we're not going to do an ICO, well, at least at this point, because we believe that we need to trust these community members, and they're the ones who are going to buy and sell on the platform first. And of course, we have 21 million tokens, and they're going to be distributed over time. It's going to be harder and harder to get the token, to earn it. But for now, you cannot buy it, you cannot sell it. I mean, there's going to be probably DEXs and stuff. People are going to do this kind of thing. But from us, we don't want to be the ones selling this right now, because we feel that it's always going to give the privilege to the one who can buy it, right? So if you really believe in the blockchain, true blockchain values, you're going to be saying, okay, like, let's just distribute it to the community, to the buyers and sellers. And, of course, the distribution, you can find it online as well. We've published that. We've already distributed 50 ARTA tokens for the first auction to everybody who just participated. And the ones who won, they got twice as much ADA as they spent in ARTA. But next time it's going to be much harder. So we're going to just increase the, let's say, difficulty level of earning the token.
Okay. I will be looking into that. If anybody wants to learn more about you, follow you online, can you tell us where to do that?
Sure. So we have a bunch of different social media accounts. I think Twitter is the biggest one, Artano__IO. Then we have Instagram and Reddit, of course. So I would say Twitter is the biggest platform, and the first news go there. So just follow us there.
Excellent.
Maybe
Excellent.
link below in the description.
Yeah, I will be linking everything in the description. And I think if anything, things start to unfold a little bit more, we'd love to have you come back on the show again, and we can talk a little bit more. But Mateja, everybody, hopefully you guys will check out Artano. And if you're an artist, be sure to check it out. If you're someone who is looking to help fund this project as well, be sure to check it out. Thanks, Mateja, for coming on the show today. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.